country, I want to hear you say, "We the people."
We the people!
I want you to say it so loud they can hear you in Washington without a cell phone. We the people! I give you Joe the Plumber. I don't really have a funny story to tell you all today. I'm here for one reason. That's one reason only, because I love America. I got something to show you guys today. USA Today makes our point for us. Most Americans are okay with the big government. Come to your house and ask that question. Oh, come on now. I mean, they wouldn't print stuff that's not true. Well, that's the point. Mainstream media wants to point us or paint us as a bunch of extremists, right? You know, we're in search of liberty, right? We want our freedoms. What's so extreme about that? Right now we're practicing our First Amendment right here. That's absolutely incredible. We have that right, and we're going to take advantage of it. Now, I didn't reinvent the wheel. I'm just like everybody else here. You know, I got my ideals. I got some thoughts in my head. I like to stand on a soapbox and tell people how upset I am. Just normally no one would listen to me 6 months ago. You know? Now all of a sudden I get to speak out and talk. And it's not all my own ideas. I have lots of emails, lots of letters people send me and ask me, say, you know, I think this is a good idea. And I'll sit there and read it like, oh man, yeah, that's awesome. So I'll share it with the people. You know, let me read something to you. Like I said, I didn't reinvent anything. I'm just regurgitating. I believe in common sense. It's not I'm listening from a gentleman, his name's Kevin Gary Nodler. Let's all live within our means to have a future. Socialism is not the correct answer. Live within our means. I know that's a really odd thought. You know, extremists. You know, let me give you another extremist view. In God we trust. If you say that too loud, you get shot somewhere in America. Isn't that just terrible? So, yeah, absolutely. Taken out of schools. So, and I've got a couple books here. Like I said, I'm not a trained speaker. I'm just like everybody else. I'm not well, I guess I am sort of famous. But, I'm not trained in any kind of way to give great speeches to pump you guys up. I'm here to talk about common sense and what really matters to Americans. You know, I got a couple books here, quotations. Benjamin Franklin, you know, pretty great American. And I know he's old, but, common sense does not die, nor does it get old. Another one here, another great president, Theodore Roosevelt. I mean, these guys were about actions, not words. And that's all we hear in Washington. I spent 3 weeks in the month of February in Washington, and all I heard was special interests and lobbyists. Special interest lobbyists. I didn't hear anything about the American people. That's what this is about. That's why you guys are here. This is what we need to do. So just like you, I came here today to have my voice heard. When I go home, I'm not going to just turn on the TV and forget about it. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to call my senators. I'm going to call my congressmen. There's so many organizations out there like AFP, FairTax.org, Media Research Center, Sam Adams Alliance. I mean, there's all these great organizations that you can be a part of, have your voices heard. The more your voice is heard, the actual change that can take place. Not that fake change, real change. It has actions behind it. I'm going to read you a couple quotes. Like I said, I believe in common sense. You know, here's a great quote. This by Benjamin Franklin. You know, one of the smartest founding fathers that we had out there. He says, the Constitution gives the people the right to pursue happiness. You have to actually go out and catch it yourself. You know, it's that simple. You actually have to go out and work for yourself. Another odd concept, I know, but it's what you got to do. That's how I was raised, and that's what I do every day. You know, I get up, just a hard-working American. You get up, you go to work, you do your thing, you come home. You don't expect the government to rape you when you're done. Another guy, Roosevelt. This guy was just absolutely incredible. He said something. The first requisite of a good citizen in this republic of ours is that he shall be able and willing to pull his own weight. Okay, that being said, that doesn't mean we leave people behind. That's called community. That's called community and family. When my neighbor's down, I help them out, not because big government tells me I have to. I do it because that's what I'm supposed to do. You can't legislate morality. You got it or you don't. End of story. All right? Now, one thing I want to finish up on here, because I don't believe in talking long, because you can only remember the last 5 minutes of this conversation anyways. As I was talking to my son, and he said, Dad, gosh, what an incredible privilege it is to be able to talk in front of Americans. And that's incredible. You're absolutely right. And so I want to thank you guys for coming here today. You could have been doing anything else, yet you chose to come here, exercise your First Amendment right, to be heard, and thank you very much. Thank you for listening to what I have to say. My biggest thing here, two more things. One is I do have a platform that I am pushing. It's called irsvote.com. Right now, the current tax system is at the expense of America. We got 67,500 pages of regulations. If you ask 20 IRS agents how to do your taxes, you're going to get 20 different answers. Okay?
That's true.
On top of that, go to irsvote.com, check it out. Vote the IRS out, vote fair tax in. That'll help our economy tremendously. That'll create over 500 companies that have moved, that were forced to cross seas so they can make money. That would bring them back to America. That would increase jobs. That'll stimulate the economy at no expense to your back pocket. These bailout bills, they were done quickly, fast, and without really a lot of thought behind them. Okay, second thing and only thing I have left for you is bring common sense back to America. That's it.
Thank you. Did you come to see Joe the plumber?
Yes.
Is he somebody you respect?
Very much.
And
I love his political stance. It's great.
And you're here today because?
I'm here to bring my son to this, to show my son how politics works in America, and how demonstrations can bring notice to the people what's going on.
What change do you think this will bring?
Hopefully, it'll bring a change to the local government with Granholm leaving, and in 2012, Obama leaving.
100,000. Well, I'll bet there's 3,000.
No, I think there's 8,000.
Got a question for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Bush was the one who put aside the $700 billion. What did you think of that?
Well, I think it was the wrong Congress was in there at the time. Last 2 years we've been run by the Democrats. I think Bush was just probably a puppet for them people. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I think we got to change them all out.
Can you give me a crowd estimate?
4,000.
4,000? Thank you. Down here because? Next enough already.
No stimulus.
No stimulus, okay? No more unemployment benefits? You don't care if they're cut off?
Not really.
Because that's what the stimulus part of what it pays for.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much of it
Too
went
much.
to too many things.
An Ayn Rand fan.
Oh, okay.
So, no, you must be an Ayn Rand fan.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And you're here because?
I'm here because I am sick of government trying to shut down the producers and the innovators and the creators of the world.
And they're doing that by?
They're doing that by raising taxes on businesses. They're doing that by just basically saying that no one should have the impetus to succeed, because if you do, you're going to end up paying more taxes, and we're going to support the people who slack off and who mooch and who don't want to succeed in this world. We're just going to have to prop them up. And I don't want to do that. I'm at a point where I'm about to graduate from school, and I've worked very, very hard to get myself through there. And now if I'm going to go into a job that's going to get taxed, if he wants to raise the upper income tax more and more and more, what drive do I have to succeed? What was the point in me going through all of that schooling and working so
You're
hard?
not going to look for a job because you'd have to pay.
Oh, I'm looking. I have to work. I don't want to be one of the moochers of society. But yeah, I'm going to be a dentist. I worked myself through a lot of school to go and become a dentist, but I'm going to join the Air Force right now to serve this country a little bit more.
And you're here?
Oh, I'm here
Because
I don't want to be taxed anymore. I want my son that has spent 8 years in Michigan colleges to be able to get a job and not have to go into the military and have the military pay him instead of us. There are no jobs. Granholm they all talk about how we need education, but there's no jobs. It doesn't matter. I know 4 recent graduates of universities in Michigan that are making $10 an hour at jobs. They can't get a job in the field that they've chosen. My daughter-in-law has a 4-year degree. She went back to Washtenaw to become a dental assistant because she couldn't get a job in her field. We need jobs. We need education, but we've been throwing money at it for 50 years. That's all I've heard since I've been born, is how much the education system needs more money. We need the lottery in Michigan because it's going to provide money for our education system. How has that worked out? I'm 50. That's when I was about 16. That hasn't worked out either. So that's why I'm here. I'm protesting. My first protest, I lived through the 60s and didn't do any. And I'm here today.
who will solve this for you? Who do you think is the answer?
God. We the people. We the people. That's a good answer. You know what? I don't know. I don't think there's a politician out there right now. Maybe Huckabee. He has a lot of good ideas on the fair tax. You know, we got to stop. They got to stop taking our money. Besides our income tax, we pay property tax. We pay a tax on everything that you buy. My husband pays a tax now on his airplane. We do own an airplane. He's worked hard. He's retired. We bought a small airplane that costs less than a car, but now they want to tax more. We pay a tax every time we go to our state parks. We pay a tax on everything, on my boat, my rowboat, everything. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
You're here for the Federal Reserve. What's the issue with the Federal Reserve?
They need to be audited.
And what would you think you'd find?
I think they would find that they are not telling the people what they're spending their money on, that they're bailing out Wall Street, and that they're for big government. And inflation is a tax. And pretty soon our dollar's not going to be worth anything, because as we are borrowing money from other countries to pay for our debts, our dollar's dwindling.
Inflation, they announced this morning, is 0.1%, but you're concerned about inflation?
Absolutely. We're going to be quadrupling our national deficit. The dollar is not going to be worth anything. We need to restore it with the gold standard.
Are you a Ron Paul supporter, maybe?
Yes! Ron Paul!
Anytime I hear gold, I assume
Ron Paul!
Ron Paul.
We came here to protest what our government's doing to our country and our freedom.
And the United Nations, you're opposed to the New World Order and
the New World
the United
Order
Nations.
is the order of world domination, socialism.
World Bank's North American Union, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, North American Union, World Bank's Trilateral Commission, and the Bilderbergs are all crooked. And the CFR, down with all of them.
So who will ID do?
If we don't stop Real ID,
eat or buy anything without it.
eventually it gets so complex, and you can Google this on YouTube, just type in Real ID Act or Applied Digital Technologies out of South Florida. This is the company that has already applied for the patents where your ID, ready for the drama, doesn't go in your wallet, it goes in your hand. And that technology is already perfected by a company called Applied Digital Technologies. I was the lobbyist for all the counties in the country back in '95 when I found out about this. So this resolution, if any of you will take it, says, State Senator, support this resolution because we don't want this junk in our bodies. Sorry?
To limit the federal government to the responsibilities only specified by the U.S. Constitution.
Why are you worried about gun rights? It seems like everybody has one.
Everybody does have one for the most part, but you know what? And when they start taking it away, gun laws only disarm the law-abiding citizens. And what we're fighting is more gun laws, more regulations that don't affect the criminals who are going to get the laws regardless.
People pull the trigger. It's an object.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's an object. So we have choice in our hearts what to do with that object. You can hurt me many ways. The gun just happened to be, so we need to love one another. That's it.